speculation, strong opinions,
Hey, what's up? Welcome to MME Live. I'm going hard on that Enosh from the Lounge Wars. Is it really loud? What do I mean by that? Well, I watched some of Phobic's actions last night. Phobic! Come on, man. Be cool, man. No. All right, so actually, I should have jumped on last night. That was a hot conversation about movie theaters, and I think Enosh is wrong. And it's not something I like to say, but I think he's completely wrong. I think it has changed in a post-COVID world. The movie theater experience is going to be different. The whole game has changed. Look at Disney. Disney is an industry leader. They have said to please their investors who are very upset with the current events, that they are going to refocus, and that is a big deal. That's a big deal. Disney starts it. They're the main people they're the main business at the box office. What they do, others will follow. So, and listen, man, Enosh, I love what you're saying. You don't even want. I mean, I don't agree with you. You don't even want a recliner in a theater. You just want to sit there and enjoy it. I just don't see it's gonna. That's not the general consumer. Oh, look who we got! We got Sci-Fi, Mortal Kombat.
Where have you been?
I've taken a break.
You've been. I thought you disappeared off of the face of the earth or something.
I thought about doing that. Yeah, I thought about it. You didn't see last night's video. I was like, I don't know if I want to come back, and then I'd miss my friends. You got coffee already.
Well, speaking of that, I was just watching an alternate history video that discussed the idea of what the world would look like if there was no internet, if the internet didn't exist.
Probably be a better place.
Yeah.
I don't think Trump would be president. That's not heat at him.
Yeah.
I honestly don't think he would be a president without Twitter. I think that was that pushed him over the edge that got him as president.
Yeah.
I think social media is really that's a margin for elections. Not that we're not going to talk about elections though. I'm just saying in your scenario where the internet didn't exist, I think the world would be really different. Yes.
Physical media would still be a huge thing if that was the case.
Oh, so we're going hot on Enosh now.
I know. I was like,
no.
What happened?
No, we're not going hot on him. I just disagree with his last video. I love his passion. But I didn't go on last night because I gotta limit how much I'm on YouTube because I'm tired the next day. I want to game. I want to spend time with the family. So there were some days I was like, the next day for work, I was like trashed. And then I collapsed after work. I was like, oh, I can't do, I'm so exhausted. And my typical going after, haters of everything.
Yeah.
Which I'm passionate about. It's me being genuine. It's just assholes always win. That's the way of the world. People that do good content, good conversations, you kind of have to search them out. I honestly think the general YouTube viewer doesn't really care about quality, just cares about, reactions.
No, they don't.
Even if they're fake. All right, so let's get to the comments, and then I want to hear your thoughts too about what they were talking about on the lounge last night, which was the conversation was hot. Enosh is like, no, it's going to come back every time some world event happens. He was saying that they say the world's going to change forever. It's never going to be the same. I think the movie industry has changed. I think it was gradually, they were holding on to it before this happened. They were doing things to make their existing customer feel more comfortable. More luxurious seats at the theater. You get wine and stuff, wine and dine your existing customer, and focusing on other regions like China and other stuff where the actual, it's a growing market. The States and in different regions of the world, not every region was growing. They're just trying to keep their existing customer. So I think it's more going to be like when the theaters do come back. My personal opinion is it's going to have to be a premium experience, and it's going to be more like an event. But I don't. Yeah. I think some people are just going to come back, and streaming content is better right now. Although you wouldn't know that part.
Well, I mean, I think I was actually talking about this with Lantern a few days ago because he tweeted this out, talking about how people are being a little bit too doom and gloom about the future of movie theaters, that they're going to completely die, and that streaming's going to take over everything, and that. Well, no, and he's saying, well, people just need to calm down and just the movie theaters will probably still exist, and that's kind of what my opinion is.
In some way, but not the same. I don't think it's going to be the same. I think it'll be.
Yeah, I think it'll probably evolve over time. That's
not as many releases. The big blockbuster event films, you'll always get those.
Yeah, I mean, and aren't those usually the movies that we go to theaters to see anyway? I mean,
yeah.
But
you already see it. The movie rights holders to these movies that are already filmed, they're selling them to all the streaming services. Let's get to the chat. Michael S. Phobic causing problems last night.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's any day of the week he's cut.
I know. He says that movie theaters should just die.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. He said, "Let the theaters die." That's what he said in the comments.
It's jobs. It's not something I want to say. It's my opinion, though, that it's not going to be the same. There's not going to be as many.
Yeah. Well, there's actually an interesting thing that came up when it comes to the conversation about the movie theaters, is that Patty Jenkins was making some comments, and she was basically saying that the U.S. government should step in to bail out the movie theaters and to save the movie experience.
I think she has a point. If it's a lot of jobs, I don't know if it's as a lot of jobs as some under industries. I think you have to focus on what's the most going to make the most impact for the economy. Just weigh the costs and the benefits of bailing out this industry compared to other industries. I think it has to go in line with everyone else. I don't think it should be excluded. Like some people against the woke Hollywood and stuff, they're going to say, oh man, Enosh. You're wrong, Enosh. You're wrong. sorry.
Is he frozen? He's moving.
No. Listen, I love your optimistic view. I just think it's not gonna. And I should have gone on the stream last night. I was actually. I'm gonna make a video tomorrow about what I was doing last night. I was saving my PS3. But that's for different. I can't hear you. We can't hear you.
He's muted.
I didn't mute you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I didn't have the thing plugged in.
No, but
is that what they call it now? No, with your PS3, whatever you were doing.
No, well, I was, because what's happening is the PS5 is coming out soon, so they've upgraded their PS Store, and I'm going to make a special video tomorrow about because on the 19th. This is separate, but on the 19th, they're shutting it down, and you can't get the system updates. There's some games that are going to disappear.
That's dumb.
Right. There's some digital-only games. I was like, I want to get this before the store goes down.
Let's call this what it really is.
That you were wrong?
No, let's call this what it really is. I haven't been on one of your streams in a long time, and you're just trying to call me out just to be on your stream. All you had to do was say, Enosh, you're a friend. I'd love to have you on sometime. It's been a while. I miss you.
Oh, okay.
I do miss you. I miss you. No, Max. You got to come with this fake heat, with this Mad Max jargon, and come at me like that. Dude. It's all good. At the end of the night last night, we all talked for like 2 hours after.
Right. I was listening to most of it. Phobic. Oh my goodness, phobic.
He put out a comment. He's saying that he doesn't forgive Enosh for putting him in timeout.
You timed him out. I think he deserved the timeout.
I did. Look, first of all, I'm not mad at phobic.
Yeah,
I get phobic's thing.
Yeah,
like, I get what phobic is.
Yeah.
The only thing that I had last night about that was just that the person that he was doing his thing with.
Yeah.
That was not the right person to do that with.
Right. I get that.
And I understand that he may not understand that if he's not in there with her or something. Because if he understood that, then that's really not cool.
Well, I mean, that's a lesson.
Just because of who the person was.
That's a lesson for all of us on the internet. You don't always know. Like, I mean, people get each other's humor, and you don't know how it's going to impact certain people or what's going on.
I've defended phobic a lot of times on this stream on your channel because I get it. I get it.
I constantly have to defend phobic. Thank you, phobic.
Yeah,
no, but phobic's a good friend.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
He's a cool guy.
Phobic to you, I get it. Don't worry about it. I needed to do something to show that.
Yeah,
that I understood the person who it was happening to, and that was and that's it. But hey, look, as far as this topic goes, it's pretty cut and dry for me. I agree with sci-fi. This doom and gloom stuff about how the world is going to end, basically, and how nothing is going to. That's what everybody says every time. Everything's going to be different. Look, for a while. Yes, for a good while, things are going to be a lot different, right? Because we have to recover from things, and like I said last night on the stream, barring some major setback that throws us all into an oblivion again, you know what I mean, and throws us back into this huge setback,
throws us into the Stone Age.
Exactly. Things are going to recover. Is it going to look exactly the same? No. And I understand that. It's not going to look exactly the same. It's not going to be that way. But this idea of like, we're not going to have movies, just theaters again. Look, movie theaters cannot survive just releasing the big tentpole movies. That's what you guys don't understand. Look, I'm renting my local theater next week. And we're doing a private party and a private viewing of Empire Strikes Back.
That's great.
And I know, cool. And I got 25 people. We're all going, and it's going to be awesome and amazing. And there's going to be things happen next week around the channel that everybody's going to want to be a part of. If you guys love the people that we stream with and everything, you guys are going to be blown away. But here's the thing. I talked to the manager, man, last week when I booked this whole thing. And I went and got my tickets to go see Tenet. We saw Tenet that night, and the parking lot was full. Okay. And the thing is, I talked to that manager. That guy's been in movies, man, for like decades, right? Like this isn't like the 16-year-old kid who's the manager of the local Cineplex because he's he just got out of high school or whatever. I don't know, but this guy's been around. He's been literally everywhere, and he's like, look, people love movies, okay? And he's like, as long as movie studios put out good movies, people will come back, right? They've dealt with stuff before. They've had ups, they've had downs. But even he said this idea of we're just going to put the big movies in theaters and all these little movies, well, we can just do all these. It doesn't work because everybody just thinks that those things are because they see the dollars. They see the dollar numbers and they go, oh, well, hey, Avengers made $2 billion. So that's the only one that matters. But you know what matters? The rom-com that does weeks and weeks of just little business that keeps revenue going for popcorn because people come in for a date night and they come see, Love in Manhattan or something. And they all, and people don't realize that. People don't think about that. And that's what you can't just release. You can't just release Avengers. You can't just release, Star Wars. You can't just do that because there won't be a theater around between.
What's with the recliner hate? What's with the recliner hate?
Well, look, I've always said, here's the thing, because I've gone before. Every time I go and I sit in this big, comfy recliner, I fall asleep. I can't I get comfortable, and all of a sudden, next thing I know, I'm waking up at the end of the movie, and I don't go spend as everybody was talking about last night, whether it's $10, whether it's $15, $20 for my ticket to fall asleep and then miss the movie. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I want to sit on stone, but like my theater, we got, multiple theaters here in my area, and they've got comfy chairs with armrests that go up and everything. And I can sit next to my wife and kind of cuddle in next to her, 'cause I can put the armrest up, and that's fine. But like, and look, and I don't begrudge anybody who likes the big comfy recliner and all that stuff. That's fine. What I'm saying is, and I actually rewatched a lot of my stream last night today, which is something I don't do a lot of.
That was a hot stream.
But I rewatched a lot of it because I wanted to hear everybody's opinions and thoughts, even more out, instead of just being in the discussion. And I realized something too about that, is that it's gimmicks.
That's what's kept the business going.
That's not going to keep it going though, because there's always going to be something. The gimmick is always going to go away, and you're going to have to come up with another gimmick. And here's the thing:
right.
How many times, Max, though, do we talk about the fact? How many times have we talked about that people didn't pay attention to Batman v Superman?
Yeah.
Right. Like, I seriously, every week I have to explain to people like stupid stuff like, well, the Omega symbol on the ground during the nightmare scene is,
well, you have to bring in the general public, not the hardcore. And I think
get
the
that.
only
I get that.
the
But
only
if you
way
got you got servers walking by, right? And I've been to those theaters where you got a bar over here at the side.
Yes.
You got servers walking back and forth and doing all.
I really think it.
It's not because you know what? Those people don't love cinema, and that's the point.
Not me. That's not me.
No, I know that. I know that. But the people who want to fill their theater with gimmicks and a bunch of noise and a bunch of distractions and a bunch of stuff, they don't love cinema, and they're not going to be there long term, and they're not going to keep the business going. And I don't want to see every movie on my 65-inch screen.
I love cinema too. Go ahead, Sci-Fi.
I wanted to add a little bit to Enosh's point that you have to consider the fact that people like to get out of the house every once in a while, like putting aside the COVID thing and the pandemic. Like, people like to get out of the house every once in a while and do something. They don't. Not everybody likes to stay cooped up in their houses. I mean, I certainly don't. I like to do stuff outside of the house.
I see. This is where I disagree, though. I think you can't just cater to the cinemaphile and the hardcore. You have to do these gimmicks to get people in, because without that, they will go. I mean, there's going to be less. You have to do these premium experiences. I actually think they should do streaming movies and then IMAX experience. Have special pops you can only get to the IMAX, or movie posters. You have to do more to get people to go to these collectibles and stuff. More comfortable.
I'm not saying do away with IMAX. I'm not saying do away with the couple of theaters that have the cushy thing where you have to, get your assigned seat and all that stuff. Like, I'm not even saying don't have a theater that maybe, doesn't have a bar, or doesn't, you can't get dinner or whatever. What I'm saying, this idea of that the theater is just going to go away, and it's going to be okay to just fill it with just that. Mm-hmm. No, because then you're going to push away the people who actually love cinema, because I don't want to hear dishes clanging. I don't want to hear people talking, because they were talking about last night, well, yeah, people go and have conversations and everything. Then I don't want to go to that theater. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't go to I get it. People go and they go on a date and they do all those things. I get that. But the thing is that there are people, there are people who love movies, and the people who love movies go to the movie theater. Okay. And so that's
why I've gone less, is that the people in the theaters they're not cinemaphiles. They are annoying, even without the dinner stuff. They're always talking. I always sit by someone. I sit by kids that are kicking my chair.
Yeah.
I mean, that's consistently the experience I get. And I do like seeing on the big screen, but I also, if I have the choice of buying Tenet day one at home or going to it, I might
dude, I admit it. So I admitted last night, look, if they announced tomorrow that Wonder Woman is available, am I going to watch it? Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they you both, if they give you both options, you could go to the theater or you could go on streaming. What are you going to pick?
I'm going to go to the theater.
Okay, I would go streaming.
I would go.
But I do like.
I'm telling you. That's what I'm telling you, dude. A movie like Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I don't care how big your screen is at home.
True.
I went and saw Tenet last week, man, and I'm telling you what, just being in there, just feeling the rumble of the sound system, being surrounded by it, looking up at this giant screen that I haven't been in front of in months. There was a presence there. There was a feeling there. And even everybody who else was there, you know what I mean? Even with assigned seating, and sections closed off. Look, I haven't seen The Empire Strikes Back on the big screen since 1997.
I haven't seen it, period, on the big screen.
Look, that's the thing. You can't understand. That's the way movies are made to be seen.
Yeah.
Like it's great on your TV. I love Star Wars on my TV. But here's the funny thing, Max. I just put out to friends and family and people that I knew on my Facebook and just different things. Like because I didn't know, I put it out on, on the YouTube channel too. And I just said, hey, we're doing this thing. Anybody interested? Dude, I got a waiting list that I'm like, if somebody cancels, I want to be there because it's exciting. Going to the movies is an event. That's like saying I want to watch a sporting event at home versus watching it in person. There's something about being there. It's not this, and it's not the same. I got a big screen. I got surround sound.
Yeah,
I got all that, and it's not the same.
I'm just a different person. I value people's I value people's jobs, but I'd rather watch it on a sporting event on TV because people drive me crazy. I like people on, this is fun, but being that close to rowdy people, it's just
I feel like we're gonna make the world a whole lot worse if we all start saying, well, you know what, I'm just gonna stick to me and mine, and I'm not gonna go out, and I'm not gonna. By the way, Sci-Fi, I thought of you today because I was at my local toy store and they had 2 giant Godzilla toys, and I was like, Sci-Fi, I should take a picture and show Sci-Fi.
Yeah, those I saw those Halloween costumes that Max showed me, and he wants me to wear one of them.
the only thing I'm reluctant to say that I'd go completely streaming is I do want to support people's jobs. That's the only thing but I would just be going just to support people because I prefer to stay safe until this is over, and even after it's over, I might say, you know what, I just would want to watch this at home with the dogs, the wife, have some great food. Yeah, and I would order some great food on Grubhub or something. Get it delivered. Get some alcohol.
I just think that is going to negatively impact our world if we all just like become introverts and we all just stick to me and mine, and I don't go outside and I don't interact with anybody ever again.
That's a fair.
And here's the thing. That's what movies are partially about, but also like movies. I also brought up this point too, and I know that a lot of people.
I am a little bit of an introvert before I got,
that's fine, fine. But here's the thing too. Like I brought this point up, and everybody didn't want to agree and concede this point too. But that is, if everything is on streaming, your quality is going to nosedive.
Now that's where I disagree with. I think the streaming content has been better than we've been getting in the theater.
Now because there's options and everything doesn't go to streaming.
Netflix,
but if everything
Amazon.
Goes to streaming, I'll tell you what, if everything goes to streaming, there's less money in the pie because you judge it by subscribers and not by the individual movie. If you go see Avengers Endgame and it makes $2 billion, right? The individual movie is a success, and the overflow of that movie goes to help make other movies. If you have Avengers Endgame come out on streaming, how do they judge the success of that movie? How many subscribers did it added? Well, here's the thing. What about when those subscribers are gone in a month?
You're discounting the premium movie add-on like Mulan did. Mulan sucked.
Okay.
But if they do that for the next Avengers movie, just for a scenario, I prefer the next Avengers movie to be in the theater first. I do. But if they did that for Avengers and charged $30 a pop on top of your subscription and it's a premium thing, that's different than including it with Disney Plus or something.
But here's my thing. Okay, so say there's a couple, right? And like you're going to pay $30 every time a new movie comes out?
I do that anyway when I go to the theater.
To me, it's experience. Like I go, like I'm willing to pay a little bit more for the experience. But like if I'm already watching it, look, if Wonder Woman comes out tomorrow again, I'm gonna spend $30. Look, I watched Bill and Ted. Okay, because I've wanted to see that movie for 30 years, and so yeah, opening day, man, I was there. I watched Bill and Ted. I laid down my money and I put it out there, and I'm gonna buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out or whatever, right? But the thing is that, man, it's just
I don't think it's going to disappear. Here's where I don't think it's going to disappear, Enosh. I just think the priority is going to be streaming going forward. Where the priority before this was movies, theaters.
Yeah,
I think the priority has switched.
I think we're going to see more of it, and it's going to be like more integrated, and I'm fine with that. But this idea that the movie industry can survive and that it's going to stay the same quality and it's just going to go to streaming and like to hell with the movies, that's not going to fly. That is not going to work.
No, I don't think it's
because you gotta have the revenue coming in, and you got to be able to judge like how these individual things perform. And I'm sorry, but it's not the same experience to me just watching it on TV as it is.
Well, I mean, hopefully when this is all resolved, we all want that, no matter what side of politics you're on. We want this to be done with for sure. It'll be easier conversation to just say, let's go to the theater. The other problem is getting a new. I think what the theater owner said, once we start showing the movies you've been holding on to, we need to know other stuff's coming around the corner. We can't just like have these movies that you've been holding on to and then everything with forward momentum now though is getting, new projects seem to be going towards the streaming end for now.
Yeah, and there's going to be streams, there's going to be all those things, and like I said, I'm fine with that. I just the notion that everything has changed, we're not going to go back to theaters. I just think that there's too many people who want to go back to the theater.
I think they need to make it a more premium experience at the theater where you have clubs, movie clubs, and like say the Snyder Cut is released on HBO Max. You have a little mini doc specifically for IMAX or a different viewing experience. You get a poster, a special pop, and really charge a premium for that. And that's a way to support these. You give people next level experiences.
And look, you're talking to somebody too that like I rarely get concessions. Right?
Me too,
I don't go for concessions. When everybody's like telling me like, well, concessions are so much. Well, then don't get them. I go for the movie. You know what I mean? I'm no BS, man. Like I go for the film, but that's also why I feel like I get more out of the film because like I'm there watching the film. Now, yeah, sometimes, man, we'll splurge for some popcorn and it's a movie going experience and it's fun and we're having a good time.
I am a fan of 3D and I like all the gimmicks and stuff.
Yeah, see, I don't like 3D. I don't like it.
The problem with 3D is the industry added as a tack on a surcharge instead of focusing how can we make this movie better with 3D is just like, oh, convert it. Don't film it in native 3D.
Yeah, that's dumb. That's dumb.
Yeah. So, I would say my favorite gimmick is probably IMAX because you get a bigger image on a higher quality with the 70 millimeter or even like the digital version of IMAX.
Yeah, like I don't run to IMAX. There's been a couple of movies that like I felt. Yeah, okay, I need to see it in IMAX, right? Like when The Force Awakens came out, for example. I think we saw that movie 7 times in the theater, and one was IMAX 3D. And I don't like 3D movies. To me, it's a gimmick. I just don't get into it.
I'm hoping James Cameron revitalizes the experience with some new gimmick.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean that.
As long as it's parallel, as long as it's like side by side to the people who just love movies.
Not just the gimmick. I think gimmick might be the wrong word. That it's not just a gimmick that it adds to it. He was with the Hobbit films. This is why Avatar was delayed so much. He had to get a lot. These movies that he makes cost so much money. They need investors and they need a new technology to push. He's one of the last filmmakers that actually pushes a new technology in theaters. That's why 3D was so prevalent, for better or for worse, was James Cameron and Avatar. Did it work? I think Avatar was really great with the 3D. I think there's a few movies that are really good with 3D.
Well, what's interesting is that there was actually a 3D movie that came out before Avatar called it was a National Geographic documentary called Sea Monsters: A Prehistoric Adventure. It was like a dinosaur documentary they released to theaters, and it was in 3D, like the real 3D glasses before Avatar even came out. So it was still like a thing, but Avatar obviously popularized it, definitely made it more prevalent.
I have a huge 3D Blu-ray collection. I still have my 3D TV mounted on my fireplace. Once it goes, though, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm like, am I going to get it repaired? It's going to take them all a lot of money. I don't know what I'm going to do because they're not bringing them back.
Is that the curved screen?
No, it's LG. It's one of the last 3D TVs ever made. They actually got it right at the end.
Okay.
Because there were not a lot of 4K 3D TVs. The 4K makes it better where there's not a lot of ghosting, double image.
Mm-hmm.
And then this TV uses passive 3D like the theater, like the real 3D glasses, where they're not like battery operated and all that stuff that messed everything up. So it's just like the glasses you move. You could actually take the glasses you get at the theater and bring them home, and it will work on this TV.
Oh wow, that's cool. You know what I noticed. You know how they've got like the because nowadays they got these TVs that are like ultra, just man, I don't know. It's like the TV's almost too good.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it'll take a movie like say Star Wars or the one I noticed was Transformers, because when I was just in Vegas, my buddy, he's got one of these TVs and his son was watching one of the Transformers movies. And I kept looking over at the TV as we were sitting there, and all these scenes. I mean, I love that movie, but like it didn't look like a movie anymore, And the thing is, it actually made the digital work, like all the digital work, look really bad, because it made it like you could almost see the fact that it was layered on top of the movie. There's like, here's the movie, like a Photoshop job where it's like, here's the background, and here I just layered the the whatever, the PNG over it, like you could literally see it. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that
would ruin it for me.
The quality of the picture was amazing. It was like you could actually it looked like you were looking through a window. You know what I mean? But then it looked like you had a giant, sticker almost of the Transformers, and like one of the things that everybody says about the Transformers movies is, even though people, have their opinions about the design,
story and the writing,
and the stories and all that stuff. I mean, technically the special effects for those are pretty good. Like when you just watch it as a film. But yeah, it's interesting. I feel like there's a lot of stuff like that that's really good in theory, but like sometimes in practice, like I think people say things are good that just really aren't good.
Yeah,
and that's why they don't last.
This just in, our special political reporter Michael S. Michael, you're always talking about politics. I don't care.
I know he can't shut up about politics. It kind of gets annoying sometimes.
No. He's cool. He's a young guy that's involved. He's supporting his man. Okay, whatever. We'll talk about that another time, Mike West. I don't want to talk about politics. I don't want to.
Me neither.
I don't want to start a nerd war about.
Quick shout out. There's obviously always a lot of people that we see in the chats and stuff like that, and shout out to everybody. But quick shout out to Manna Martin. I haven't seen Manna Martin in a long time, and Manna Martin, we've had a lot of fun on our channel with Manna Martin back in the day, and I think I've sang to him a few times and sang about him. So hey, what's up, Manna Martin? It's good to see you, man.
Oh, the other reason I wanted to bait you onto the show, Enosh, is I talked.
Did you like the fact that I look like Dawson?
Yeah, I love that. I was Google searching images of you, and this came up first. I was like, that looks great. Yes, we're rocking that. Yes.
I think the only image that shows up of you on like Google and stuff is like your profile image, and it's like a really small, like 300 times like 200 image or something. It's really like a small image.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Good. Of like your Darth Vader mask.
Good, winning. I don't know. I don't want a lot of images of me. No.
Would you like people doing fan art of you?
I don't think that's
Max?
what it's called.
Like if people drew like pictures of you with your like Dr. Doom mask or your.
There has been art of me in the past, but it was not fan art. It was
narcissistically impatient mice women.
Yeah, that sounds great.
So it's so funny, like I'll say this for anybody who loves Dawson. I love this hat. I bought this hat, and it's the most comfortable hat that I think I own now. And I've got quite a vivid hat collection that I didn't used to. But this hat, I love it, and it's funny because it does bring up conversation. Yeah, because people are always like, what is NIMW?
Well, he designed it too. He's a good graphic designer.
Oh, dude, have you seen the artwork that we have now? I mean, like for our channel and stuff, and for other channels. I mean, that kid, man, is really good. And plus, I'll be honest with you,
that would be the worst. No. There's so much. There's so much that they could pull out about Charlie Sheen. I don't even want to deal with you. Could you imagine?
Oh my gosh,
Tiger Blood! I'm like, no,
winning.
Yes. Are you kidding me? No way. I think he's just trolling. Grobnob is just trolling.
Yeah.
Who's Dawson?
Or, Jesse Ventura for president.
Oh, well, maybe. I people don't like The Rock now that he endorsed Biden. I'm like, I don't care.
You say Jesse Ventura? Jesse Ventura. Yeah. My former father-in-law used to sound a lot like Jesse Ventura and actually look a lot like Jesse Ventura. And I could do I'm better at my father-in-law's impersonation than I am Jesse Ventura, but you can kind of hear it in there, like kind of where it sounds, because like my former father-in-law, he had a ponytail, and his wife's name was Sherry, and he was sitting there and he'd be like, he always sounded like he was kind of drunk, but he wasn't, and he'd be sitting there and he'd just be like, watch TV. He's like, Sherry, can you come in here and put my hair in a ponytail, please? and I would do this, and it would sound just like him. And like my ex-wife's brother hated it because he was a daddy's boy, and so like but the rest of the family was like just cracking up because it was dead on. And I would just be like, I do stupid stuff like him, like ordering food or something like, I'll have a cheeseburger and fry, and it was just dumb. Funny. Just personal stuff. Nothing really related to anything. It just brings every time I see Jesse Ventura, I think of my former father-in-law, and it's just funny.
Yeah,
it's funny how it's funny how things bring up memories. Yeah, that like you relate stuff to. This is funny.
Yeah.
Sure. Netcat says, dare I ask what you... I was responding to this guy on the right with the Nimwa hat. I mean, we're not going back into it, but it's just talking about
movie theaters.
He's very optimistic. He's an optimistic guy. You could tell by this picture that he is expecting movie theaters will be just fine. Everyone, once this is over, even before it's over, once stuff happens gradually, people are going to come back to the theaters. I personally think it's changed, or it needs to change too, and it needs to be a more premium experience, even more lounge chairs, dinner, because you have to reach out. You need the normies to come in. Unfortunately, the normies are annoying. The normies are annoying to cinemaphiles, but they bring in the box office. They bring in the profits.
Well, here's the thing too. Like given what I do, I talk to a lot of people. Okay. And I talk to a lot of people who, have a lot of varying positions on stuff. And I think everybody, like, maybe one of the reasons why I'm so optimistic is because I talk to a wide cross section of, look, I know people who are just like, they're going to stay inside for the rest of their lives. They're never going to trust anybody again. And I still think that that's a little extremist, and that over time, that's going to go away. If we see things start to come back, and look, everything is always like the worst case scenario. And I what I relate a lot of it to is like 9/11. I remember where I was, what I was doing. That was like the last big disaster that we kind of really had. Right. And so like, and definitely from my generation, like the biggest, thing that had happened, obviously in decades. But the thing is like, I remember what I was doing. Like I was actually hanging my tie interceptor in my old room, and my grandma called me, and she's like, Enosh, you got to turn on the news. Are you watching the news? And I'm like, no. And I worked third shift at the time, and it was like 10 a.m. I had just gotten home from work.
Is that how you mark your life to different collectibles?
No, it's just no. You know what?
I do with music and stuff. Like I'm like, oh,
yeah, I do. It's not normally that vivid.
Yeah,
you know, it's not normally that on. But I was literally standing on a chair in my old room, like because the tie interceptor, the way that the wings come out like that, it's really hard to hang from the ceiling because it's not balanced. You know what I mean? All the weight is on the back, and it's just front wings. And so you really got to get crazy with it when you're using fishing wire or whatever that you're using. And so like I was having such a hard time, and it was ticking me off, and it was falling, it would fall and stuff. And there was a couple times I thought that it was going to just fall out, but I had rigged it up. And all of a sudden my grandma calls, and I'm like, oh man. So I pick up the phone, and my grandma's a little bit of an alarmist and doesn't always understand stuff anyways. But she calls, she's like, Enosh, are you watching the news? And I'm like, no. And she's like, we're under attack. They're flying, planes into buildings and stuff, and they're going to attack the White House or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, grandma, calm down. It's okay. I'm sure it's something else, whatever. And then I went and sat down, and I turned on CNN, and I was like, oh.
Well, that was your first mistake. CNN. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but back in the day,
though. I did that for you, Michael. I did that for you, Michael.
Well, hey. That was back in the day.
Yeah,
okay. CNN would not be my first choice now. But the thing is, I turned on the news, and there it was, and it's on every channel and stuff, and everybody's freaking out. And my wife was gone, and like she's calling me, she's like, what's going to happen? And she was freaking out, and all of a sudden, like I'm getting messages, like gas is going to go up to $10 because everybody's panicking, and and then in the days subsequent, like we didn't know if there was more coming. Is this just the first wave? And then when the second tower fell, like everybody was freaking out, and and then
when the first tower hit, everyone thought it was an accident, but when the second tower was hit, everybody knew it was a tower.
And then in the subsequent days, people forget about the anthrax scare, where people were calling for the post office to get shut down, and like it was never coming back. People were not going to mail things anymore. Like it was just going to be like it was going to throw us into the Stone Age. And look, at the time, it had to be dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
We had to feel our way out again. It was like being inside. It's almost like being at the camp during the horror movie, right? And you're inside the cabin, and you got to wait till dawn, and then at dawn everybody kind of sticks their head out, and it's like because it's daylight, the killer's gone, and you know what I mean, and like everybody's safe, and so like we had to do that. I just feel that barring anything, like I said, crazy happening that throws us back into this, lockdown where things are starting to open up. Even my state of Michigan finally is being slowly brought back to a place where, dude, that's awesome, man.
You like Vernors?
You know what? I do. I prefer. So I know I'm from Michigan, and this is like sacrilege, but like if I'm drinking ginger ale, if I want ginger ale, I will go Canada Dry.
Oh, but, no. Come on. Because Vernors slam dunk with that.
No. Vernors is not considered, like everybody calls it ginger ale, but if you read it, it actually says ginger soda.
Okay.
So it's to me, it's just a different taste. Like, we drink it. Like if you're sick to your stomach, you drink Vernors. I don't drink I wouldn't drink a Canada Dry if I'm like if my stomach was bothering me or something like that, and there's nothing that seems to satisfy thirst a little bit better than Vernors, man. There's just, oh man, it's good stuff.
I don't have that brand where I'm from.
You need to search it out. It's amazing.
And I agree, Michael S. It's pop. It is pop, but they call it ginger soda is what it is. So Seagram's does make a good ginger ale. I will say.
Yeah, if you ever got a stomach ache or something, that ginger. Ooh,
but man, it's a different taste. Like the Canada Dry and Seagram's version of ginger ale is just a different taste than Vernors. Vernors has that. It's like Vernors is really gingery. It's just got that taste, and man, but it's good stuff, man. That's awesome.
Were you thinking about streaming tonight after this, or I don't know if you did a late night last night?
Dude, you guys don't even know. I didn't go to sleep last night.
Oh, really?
No, I didn't go to sleep last night. I ended up on with everybody, with a couple people, and with Tony even until literally like 7:45 in the morning, and talking behind the scenes afterwards. And so I ended up.
I heard something that would like intrigued me. You said something special's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know. I'm like, whoa. I have an idea, but I don't want to say it because
Man of Martin, I'll take a Fresca.
Is that from the Boys reference?
Yeah,
is that
yeah. That's great. I want to know what's up with the Fresca.
Yeah.
What's up with the Fresca?
Me and my wife thought something was in it that was changing their mind more and more susceptible to stuff. But then she also said, I can't watch this show anymore. The Boys. Really? Yeah,
she doesn't like the Boys.
She says She says she's also a lot of the shows. She's like, there's too much violence and sexual stuff together. It's like I just want to enjoy stuff. It's getting too much. Like everything, every lot. I mean, you shouldn't be afraid to not show that if it helps the story. But it seems like a lot of these shows are just having it all the time now.
Sure.
And it's like she's just like every once in a while, but it's like constantly, or like we're trying to eat, we're watching, and then the boys and someone gets their head smashed, and it's like she's like, oh, and she likes horror movies and stuff too, which is weird, but she doesn't like the gory horror,
Yeah.
But I don't like it either. But I just like,
I'm not into gore.
I don't think you need to go there every time. The Boys really just does it. I love the storyline though.
Oh my gosh,
it's very interesting.
What a good show.
But yeah, I understand. I said to her, I'm like, okay, I'll finish this on my. She didn't watch this finale.
Really?
Yeah, she's just like, I'm out.
Oh man, see, you know what? That's weird. That's what I did with Saw 3. I really liked Saw 1, because I felt like it was a really good story. It was a really good presentation as a movie. And then Saw 2, it was like, oh, okay. But like you said, I like the scary, but I don't like a lot of the gore, I don't need all that. But then Part 3 was the only movie I rented it. It was, I got through the first 15 minutes and I shut it off. I was like, I can't do this. My stomach was just like, oh, I could have used a Verner's because my stomach was just like, oh, no, I can't watch this right now.
No, but I understand why. I mean, it's a popular show. I don't want the majority of entertainment to be that blatantly violent. And adding sexual overtones to the violence together too is just like, come on.
What's up, Snowdub?
Yeah.
Well,
he just made made 1K. He made 1K this.
That's awesome. Week. Awesome job. It feels like it's been forever since I've been here, Max.
Well, I took a week off. I was,
you missed my Sunday stream that I've started doing for the past couple weeks now.
Oh, I'll be on it again. I need to talk to Enosh about. We got to get you, Tommy, on your show.
There you go.
And I have a PlayStation podcast. I don't know if you'd be willing to do a guest host for 1 week on your channel and bring him on, because I want him to meet you, and show him you're a classic. He's such a positive and optimistic guy. And I'm back on the Miko train. The last event. No, the last event was better. The last video event. There's still, it's not perfect.
Sure.
But there's, I think it's going to be fun. And I want you to talk. I know you two. Also, you're both musicians.
That's awesome.
I found that the other day that I was watching a stream with him. He's Steven Tyler's cousin too. I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I got to say, Max, I'm super excited right now because, talking about, your home entertainment systems and whatever, right? What's up, Crush It? What's up, Crush It? You're crushing it, man. You're crushing it. Home of the Miley story and free comic books. But hey, so I when I bought my smart TV, I ran into a problem because I could not play my old school Nintendo. I could not play my Intellivision. I couldn't even play my. I even bought Tiffany bought me the Intellivision game system thing where it's got like all the games built into it. As kind of like, because I've got my original Intellivision, but she also bought me that. And but I couldn't do any plug and plays, nothing, because it doesn't have an RF and it didn't have the cables, the RCA inputs, right? It was only HDMI. And so I did like everybody else did. Like, they said, well, there's these up converters, like there's these, things that you can get and plug them in, and it works. And nothing that I bought, I literally bought a few, I bought like a handful. I bought like 4 or 5 different like versions and stuff of what was supposed to work to, so I could plug in my AV cables to them and then plug in my Nintendo and then plug it into my smart, and it would not work, man. I would get a picture, but I wouldn't get sound, or sometimes I would get sound, but not a picture, because apparently it wasn't like enough power. It wasn't up converting it enough. And I eventually had to like run it through my Xbox 360, and that worked, but it was a little pixelated and it looked weird. And dude, I'll tell you what, one of the best things happened. Like, I actually had a company reach out to me. Apparently somebody saw me talk about that on a stream somewhere, and they reached out to me and they're like, hey, we got this product. Would you be willing to do like an unboxing or whatever? And spoiler alert, I used the thing and it worked. And it works in like my like original Intellivision.
Do you have that video up yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm
because I want to check it out.
I'm so doing it, man, because I'm not just like, into just like, hawking products for people, but man, I was like, dang, this is something I want to use. Like, because I even told them, I said, look, you can send it to me. I said, but I'm going to be honest with you. I've used like 5 different ones now and none of them work. And I asked them flat out, I said, does this thing work? Will this work with my Nintendo? Will this work with my old school video games? And they're like, yep, it sure will. And I plugged it in and I remember turning it on for the first time thinking, oh, is this going to work? And I hit the button and I was like, a new world opened up to me for my 65-inch screen.
I love when stuff like that works. When I was being truthful last night, I was like a mad scientist in my living room. I gotta hook up my PS3. I gotta update the firmware. I gotta get to the store. There's a game that I want to get before it disappears because I don't want to buy it on the PC. There's the only other reason I have some digital games on my PS3 that you can't get anywhere else now either. And then I also have a PS Vita and a PS TV that I got to update before this goes down. And I've got to make a special video warning PlayStation. That's a shame. That's the bad part of the digital age, where stuff disappears. Yeah. You can't get stuff. Not everything's going to make it to the next gen or unless remaster.
You buy it on eBay or something.
Yeah. Well, you can't. Not digital.
No.
Well, a physical. You can get the physical version.
Right. There's not physical of all these stuff. Like, there's a game I bought and I always was like, oh, I'm not going to get that. And I put it off. It's Sky. It's a plane racing game that's sort of like a kart racer too. And you're flying and it's just like $10. And I was like, I want to get that before it disappears. And it's so much fun. I was playing it last night while listening to Poindexter Lounge. That's where I was commenting. and I was cringing at Phobic. I was like, oh God, Phobic, stop. It's like,
yeah.
No, but Phobic's like Tommy Tallarico blocked him. That's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I love you, Phobic, but if I was a CEO of a company, I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I would. I don't think I'd block you. But it's not. I don't blame.
Well, I mean, because you're his friend. That's why
he follows me, and he took my criticisms like a champ. Like, he didn't stop talking to me. Like, I didn't even tell him about the video yesterday. He watched it on his own, and he's like, "Oh, I addressed your concerns in the comment section. Yeah, I'll be, And he said, "I know you've been critical of my last event." He said, "Yeah." He said he knows, but I'm really curious to see what you think now. Because I said when I'm critical, I'm like, it's tough love. I want to tell you now, so the next event, not that he's going to listen to me specifically, but so you get better. But so you get better each time. Like,
sure,
Nintendo wasn't amazing with their virtual events right away either. And plus, you're dealing with your workers are all over the place. It's not like you're all in the same building all the time anymore in this day and age. People working from home, which was not prepared for, and it's something that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So I would love if we could work that out. I know he wants to talk again based on what he said Twitter DMs, and I just because you guys are both musicians, you both love collecting. He collects Ferraris though. He doesn't
Ferraris.
He collects toys. He collects classic consoles and Ferraris.
Well,
that sounds kind of cool.
That would be a cool collection to have.
Yeah, and he wouldn't tell me how many he has. I was like, can you just tell me how many he have? And he's like, no, that won't end well. I don't want to say that on air. He said, I'll tell you one thing. I never got rid of one. Every one I collected, I kept. Wow. So he gets the Ferraris and he keeps them.
Does he drive all of them?
Yeah, he's also too. He's very personable. Like if you're ever in California, he's like, yeah, come over. I'll show you my house. We'll drive in my Ferrari. That's what he told me. I'm in a mask man on the internet. If he told me that,
wow,
right? He said, come over to my house. I'll show you the Miko. We'll have some fun. He's like that type of guy. He's like,
well, there you go, man. Dang.
No, but yeah, that almost made me want to make a trip to California.
Guess so.
Yeah, you have to do it after the pandemic, though.
Yeah, right. He says after the zombie apocalypse, I'd like to meet you in person. He didn't say that about you, Phobic, though. Although I would like, that's why I like him, Phobic. That's why I like him. Like I like a CEO that's going to push back against critics and have some fun. I like fire and passion. And maybe you think he's wrong, but he's passionate. That's why I like him. I like strong. My beginning of all my videos, rumors, strong opinions. Mm-hmm. I love strong opinions. I don't want stale, boring opinions. Like I want someone with a. That's why I like Enosh too. Like I disagreed with them on last night's video, but I think you have strong points there. We were only going to go an hour. If there's anything else we want to talk about, I just wanted to do this quick little response, or if anyone has anything in the chat you want to talk about real quick before
I wanted to show you this since your wife doesn't like movies with gore in them, maybe she would like this right here.
Which is that 97? Yeah, we watched that.
98,
yeah. 98, yes. We watched that.
I bought that yesterday actually.
Yeah,
it was
now sci-fi. What is your opinion of the 98 version of Godzilla? Because I know a lot of people just are really, against it. They really don't like it.
I enjoy it for what it is. I don't hate it as much as a lot of Godzilla fans do. Like I accept that the Godzilla in that movie doesn't look like the traditional Godzilla and that it was a different take. Mm-hmm. And there are certainly good aspects to it. Like I've rewatched some clips of it, and the scene where he first arrives in New York City is pretty well done, where you hardly see Godzilla's full body. You just see like glimpses of his feet and stuff. It's very very well done.
I like the action in it. It's a fun movie. I wish they got to make a sequel. And I love the sequel. I love the soundtrack with Puff Daddy. I'm not a Puff Daddy fan, but that song I remember listening to that music video a lot when Godzilla came out.
Yeah, the sequels actually kind of sounded kind of interesting, especially the second one, because it involved how like at the end of the movie, there's that one Godzilla hatchling that survives.
Yeah.
Well, the second one was gonna focus on that hatchling and how it grows up to an adult and has its own hatchlings, and then. But it does it in Australia. Like it goes to the Australian outback and lays its nest, and then it's the hatchlings grow up to become like adolescent, like teenzillas, and like they have to like deal with the teenzillas, and then
teenzillas.
Yeah, and
teenzillas.
And then after that they have to deal with this like insect monster that they call the queen bitch. Like that's literally what the evil monster's called in that script for that movie.
Watch it, Sci-Fi. This is a family shit. No, Sci-Fi's really into that movies that never got made and stuff. Like John Schnepp back in the day collided with that. I still didn't see that Superman. I got to see that Nicolas Cage Superman documentary. I still didn't watch that.
Oh my gosh, man! Oh my gosh,
I still gotta watch
it's
that.
such a good documentary.
Now, if they could bring him into the multiverse, that would be amazing.
You know what? I know there's a lot of people who've said that they don't want to see that, but man, you know what? I'm down for that. Like as long as like we're not getting like a serious take on that, and we got to watch like a whole movie of that, you know, like I really don't want to see that.
Yeah.
But as far as just seeing him, I think it'd be cool, you know, if you just get just a small little cameo or whatever, you know, and you just kind of see that it's him.
Yeah,
I'd be down with that.
Michael S. Cloverfield's amazing. I love that. I wish the sequels were. I like the sequels too, but I wish it was based more on a direct sequel. Like instead of alluding to the universe, like actually a direct sequel to Cloverfield. What happens next? Like that. But I like Cloverfield Lane too. Here's breaking news real quick. Oh, where is it? Darn it. I looked at the wrong thing. Oh, okay. Here, hold on just a second. Just a quick story.
Well, they
everyone knows.
Other
already.
news is that they released a trailer for
being filmed. Don't listen to Doom Talk. And tune into not 2 cents on nonsense.
Exactly.
Yeah, I saw the set photos for that they released. They look pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell is pretty much unrecognizable. Like he pretty much disappeared into the role as Penguin.
Why do they keep doing that to him? He's a good actor, and all the roles he's in lately, they do like heavy makeup and effects on him, and you know he goes into. But you can't recognize him at all in that role. Like I don't know why they went that route. I guess I'll have to wait and see why they did that. But why not just get an actor that looks similar and do less? But they
were thinking about casting Jonah Hill as the Penguin. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how that would have worked. What do you guys think of that choice? Would you have been okay with it or no?
I think he could have done it.
See, I don't. I like Jonah Hill. I love Jonah Hill, but like some of these guys kind of stepping outside. I know that they're trying to stretch themselves, you know, and be taken as serious actors, and some of them do really well. I mean, think about like Tom Hanks or Michael Keaton, you know, who started off as comedy guys, you know, and they moved out of that. Now I've seen Jonah Hill was he's done a couple of serious movies. I mean, Moneyball was really good.
Yeah.
I liked Moneyball, and I also liked what was the movie where like he was the arms dealer?
War Dogs.
Well, yeah, War Dogs. I really liked War Dogs, but the weird part is like even when he's in a serious movie, he's kind of the comic relief almost. You know,
yeah, that's the way he was in Wolf of Wall Street too.
Yeah, and so he's got like serious actors around him, but he's not the like when he tries to be serious, you just kind of take it as like tongue in cheek. So I don't think that I would have liked him as the Penguin, in that role because of that. Because I think that the Penguin, he's a very ironic character given the fact that he, is like a penguin, But I'll tell you who I really liked was Robin Lord Taylor as the Penguin on Gotham. For Gotham, for all of Gotham, for all of Gotham's many problems, for that show.
There's some interesting stuff in it, though.
Yeah,
some of the villains were really good.
Yeah,
not all of them. Some of them, like the Riddler. I like the Riddler in that show.
Oh, the Riddler's great, and you know who else is great is what's his name now? Now he's moved on and he's doing a lot of things. But the first iteration of he the pseudo Joker, I don't know. I don't agree with all that stuff because man, that he was so good as the Joker. He was the Joker, and then what they ended up giving us as the Joker, the Jeremiah character or whatever, like that character never earned, even though it's the same actor.
I stopped watching Gotham. When they brought him back, the beginning of that character was really, I was riveted. I was like, whoa. And then I saw pictures of what he looks like. This scene feels off.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch him come back with the face, but with the beginning of the part, yeah, he did great. That actor's really good. He's in the Jedi game.
Yes. And I just saw a clip from the show actually today. There was like in something, and there was a clip of him like as the Joker, and like he comes in this building, and he's got the cutaway face and everything, and he's talking to this lady who's behind the counter, and she's like gonna call the police, or she's like, I'm calling the police. And he's like, yeah, you may not want to call security. And she goes running anyways. And he's just kind of talking to himself as he walks away. He's like, yeah, because they're all missing their heads. And he just walks, I mean, he was so good. And it's funny. So my son Isaac has a friend named Bryce, and Bryce looks just like that kid.
Oh, okay.
And here's the thing. So Bryce had some health issues and was actually for a minute. I mean, he was on the where they make a wish kind of thing, right? And so his wish was to be able to go to the set of Gotham and like meet all those guys. So like he met all those guys. He's got the guy who played Bullock. He's got like his phone number, and stuff, and texts him and talks to him and stuff. And he became friends with the kid who plays Joker because he looks just like him. Right. And so the funny thing is this is a kid, like he's over at my house all the time. And I don't know why we've never actually done a video with him yet. It just didn't work out. But here's the funny thing. One night it's like 1 a.m. and I'm watching this guy's video. I'm trying to remember who the guy was. The YouTuber, and he was like, I got a scoop. Are we gonna see the Joker's clone or the Joker's son, in Gotham, and I'm like, what the heck? Well, somebody got a hold of a photo of Bryce meeting Cameron, the guy who was playing the character backstage and stuff during the time, because it was during the finale and everything, and and they made that hideous costume, and he didn't have any hair and all that stuff, and they whatever, and so it was just a picture of him meeting him backstage or whatever. That's and they were saying that Bryce was going to be in the show and like the Joker's son, and like he had this whole shtick worked out for this kid that like this was this and this was this, and so like I just messaged to the guy and I'm like, hey, I don't know if you're just doing this for clicks and views or what you're doing, but that kid's name is Bryce and we know him and he's my son's friend. None of that's true. Okay. None of what you're saying is true whatsoever.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. It was like talk about 2 cents on nonsense. It's like dropping the bomb, dude. I dropped $1.50 on that one. I was just like, nope, not true.
All right.
Shifty gives him a. Do you remember? Speaking of Cloverfield, because I love Cloverfield. Cloverfield is just, to me, is just awesome. But do you guys remember that whole thing with the Voltron lion thing, and like people thought it was Voltron?
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, people thought it was Voltron because there in the trailer. It's for some people. I never thought it did, but for some people, they thought that you heard somebody yell, it's a lion. And so the people were thinking that it was that people were seeing the lion force or whatever, and it's just so funny.
A lot of people were like speculating that what the monster was going to look like in Cloverfield before we saw it, because they didn't show the monster in the trailers, and like a lot of people were like making guesses like which was the monster? Is it Godzilla? Is it King Kong? Is it this character? Or is it that character?
I still gotta watch that movie that was by the Godzilla director before he made the new recent Godzilla that you told me about. Sci-Fi.
Gareth Edwards.
Yeah, Gareth Edwards first. I didn't watch that yet, and it's on. I think it's on.
It's called Monsters.
Yeah, and then there's the sequel is on. Although he didn't make the sequel, I think it's on YouTube now too. You can just watch it on YouTube. No, this isn't the Enosh show, but he's doing pretty good. You can check out his lounge. Listen, Phobic, you're the only. Not anyone. Most people in the chat are not opposed to that anyway. Anyway, all right. So I think that's where we're going to end. I just wanted to do a quick hour. I'm trying to, and I am trying to save. I'm trying to go through and say what else do I want before the PlayStation Store goes down. Because I still love my PS3. I still love it because I can play PS1, PS2, PS3 games. I have my PS Vita, where I have some games saved on the system. The Cthulhu. Oh my gosh. I remember Shiftygism is going back to the whole Cloverfield thing. People thought it was Cthulhu as well, which would have been cool.
Yeah.
When's this secret event coming up on your show? Which weekend? This weekend or next weekend?
Next weekend. All I will say is guys, clear your schedules for probably Friday and Saturday of next week, because you're going to see some stuff that I don't think you ever thought that you'd see, or at least anytime soon. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun for sure, and it's something surprising. And look, we're going to have a great time watching The Empire Strikes Back. You know, obviously we can't take you all into the theater and, you know, and show the movie or whatever, but I can't wait, man. I've always wanted.
That's the kind of stuff that happens at the lounge.
I've always wanted to rent out a theater. I've always wanted to rent out a theater and do something like that. You know, just watch any movie. You know, to just watch any movie. And the fact that it was $100, man, to rent out the theater, and that filled up just like I said, just like that. And it's just going to be so much fun. And we get to watch The Empire Strikes Back, the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back.
My wife was watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show the other day. She likes it. And I was like, you don't know that they used to show these at like independent theaters and people dress up and throw popcorn? She's like, no, I didn't know that. I'm like, yeah, that happens. That's like the Rocky Horror Picture Show is like the staple of independent small theaters.
That's what it's about, is the experience.
Right.
Of the way that the crowd reacts to it. It's not even about watching the movie. It's about reacting to it. Yeah.
Have you ever been to one of those for Rocky?
I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't. No.
I haven't seen Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, I don't know if you'll love it. It's interesting. Watch for. I mean, my wife,
I was thinking about watching it.
She loves seeing Tim Curry in just like confidence and you know. she loves all the songs and everything. So
great music.
Yeah.
And a young Meatloaf.
Oh, sub to Snowdub too. Wow, Snowdub's really taking
Snowdub for linking to my channel.
Absolutely. What's up, Snowdub? Snowdub. I tell you what, Snowdub makes some good content. So yeah.
He does. Yeah, he does. He needs.
It's real. It's real.
The only thing he needs now is watch time. So we need to do like a celebration stream on your show, Snowdub, and get like, maybe I'll bring some controversy over your way.
Everybody go to Snowdubs tonight before you go to sleep. Go to Snowdubs. Just pull up the like one of his long streams, whatever, and then just set your phone, your device, go to bed.
Pull up 2 tabs.
Yeah, pull up a couple tabs, set it to play. Let's get in that because that's a silly rule. Like, I don't know.
Don't bring kids to the Rocky Horror Show.
No.
That's true.
Isn't that movie R-rated or something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought so. I didn't. I never thought it was a kid's movie.
So Sci-Fi is not exactly a kid though.
Yeah, I'm 21.
Okay, see, yeah.
But I mean, I have a little sister who's a kid, but I wouldn't take her to see that movie.
No, don't take her to Rocky Horror. All right. Well, thanks for everyone for watching. This is a quick hour. I appreciate Enosh being a good sport. He was on the thumbnail.
I feel honored.
Yeah,
I feel honored.
He made a movie Madness thumbnail.
I literally woke up, dude. I fell asleep when I came home from work because I didn't sleep at all last night. I came home from work and I crashed, and I just woke up at 11 o'clock, and I was like, "What time is he doing this? What's going on?" That's why I messaged you. I was like, "What?
Yeah, where the heck is Brian? Sci-Fi.
I know. I'm his substitute for tonight.
Brian, master of not being on the stream. What the hell, Brian? No, Brian's bailed me out more than most.
Phobic's right with that last comment. It's not the movie Rocky Horror Picture Show that you have to worry about. It's the experience, the things people are doing in the theater.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Well, because people get crazy, man. Like people are, they're shredding clothes and shedding clothes, I guess, not shredding clothes.
All right. Yeah. You hear that, Sci-Fi? No. Oh, all right. Okay. Well, Vanna.
If I ever watch Rocky Horror Picture Show, it'll probably be on Blu-ray or something.
Yeah, Sci-Fi's. I keep trying to get him the streaming content, but he's like a collector of Blu-rays. He wants the physical.
Yeah,
he doesn't want.
I didn't wait to watch this on streaming. I wanted the Blu-ray, which is why I bought it.
Yeah, man.
Hey, Sci-Fi, can you do a recent pickups video of all the last 10 Blu-rays you got, or last 20?
I could. I'm supposed to do live first impressions videos of several movies that I bought recently, but because of a lot of stuff that's come up, I haven't been able to do that, and I want to do those.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. I'm going to end it here because I'm going to go play some games and stuff and get ready. I got to go to work tomorrow. I don't want to go to work tomorrow.
Well, I wanted to show you guys a movie trailer after the stream, but if you guys don't have time, we can do it another time.
If it's quick, we can do it.
Yeah, it's a quick 2-minute trailer.
All right, sorry,
for
chat.
an old movie.
You're not invited. Bye. I'll tell you what it is tomorrow. You can at least tell them what it is before we shut them out.
It's a trailer for an old 60s Japanese tokusatsu film called Latitude Zero. It's kind of a weird movie. Pretty it's what you would call campy.
You're missing out. Bye, phobic.